Welcome to the Jungle Discipleship School podcast. My name is David Small, and I'm going to be your host on this fun-filled adventure we're about to head on. I am here at the Jungle Discipleship School campus in Burma. I'm at my little house. Wow, I love my little house. And some of my students made it for me. And it's just a great little place. It's so peaceful here. So if you need a little peace and quiet in your life, you can come to the War Zone of Burma and join us. But thanks for being with us. Thanks for listening. If you heard my last wine-filled podcast episode where I was complaining about Apple, that was a fun one, but I also promised you guys that I would get you a podcast out before we head on mission. We're heading out on mission next week. It's come so fast. This semester has gone by so fast. But anyways, so here is my keeping my promise, getting you a podcast episode out. And if you stay tuned all the way to the end, you will get a sneak peek at before anybody. You guys are the best. You get everything first here on the podcast. People are missing out. They think, I don't have time to listen to David Small ramble on and on and on. But if you do that, you get special gifts. For example, today you will get the inside scoop on so many amazing announcements and so many things going on. But you'll also get to hear my new song. I feel a bit weird saying my new song because I did not sing the song. But I wrote the song, and so maybe I can say my new song. But anyways, my new single is out the first Friday in December. So what is that? December 5th, 6th? Anyways. But you guys get to hear it first at the end of this episode. So stay tuned for that. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. But first, I have so many announcements for you guys. This is just an announcement podcast, maybe. The first one, I want to talk about coffee because I love good coffee. I never used to drink coffee until I moved to Italy when I was working in Bolzano, and I spent a couple of years there. And prior to that, I actually didn't even drink coffee. Maybe the odd cup here and there, or like had a bad sleep or need to stay up late in the army or something. And so I would have a cup of disgusting army sludge. But in Italy, it's such a part of their culture. It's such a way of life for them. And so here in Thailand, or I'm not in Thailand, but on the Thai side of the border, let's say, there's this great organization called Seed of Hope Coffee. And about a year ago, I made a partnership with them where they created a custom special roast of coffee. So, I learned all about coffee making during this partnership, but there's the blend and then there's the roast. And so, the blend is the type of plant, the type of bean, like Arabica or Robusta or whatever. And so you can have a 75% Arabica, 25% Robusta, or whatever your blend is. And then you can have your roast, which is like a light roast, a medium roast, a dark roast, whatever, like anywhere on the spectrum. And it, 1 or 2 minutes more in a roasting process changes the flavor completely. And 1 or 2% more of Robusta versus Arabica or whatever it might be changes the flavor completely and all the notes in it. And even up until the point, it's almost like wine in reality. Maybe that's why the Italians like it. But it's like, the shade or the altitude or the soil texture makes a big difference in the quality of the coffee. And so Seed of Hope Coffee, they make this incredible coffee. They came up with a custom blend. Last year, me and a bunch of our students and staff, we sat around taking shots of coffee, and we must have sampled like 20 different coffees, and we were like vibrating by the end of it. But finally, we settled on 2 or 3 that we narrowed it down. And then we got this coffee delivered to us, and we tested them out until we narrowed it down to one roast of coffee that we really like. We call it the Jungle Blend. I drink it every morning here in the jungle. But Seed of Hope Coffee, they do amazing things about bringing the gospel to their farmers. They run an orphanage and a dorm. They give scholarships for education. And so part of the money that we make off of coffee, also they make money off of the coffee as well. And so it goes to support their amazing projects. But, and this is my exciting announcement for you, they work with a partner called P-Rex, not T-Rex, but P-Rex Coffee in America. And they're based in Phoenix, Arizona area. And a couple times a year, they will get a shipment from Seed of Hope Coffee in Thailand to the US. And this will be like the green coffee cherries or whatever you call them. And then they roast their coffee for their own use, but they also roast JDS Jungle Blend coffee. And it is now available on the P-Rex website in America. And so, yeah, you can buy, Americans, you guys don't use grams and kilograms like we do here, but so you can buy different options. And if you go to the JDS website, or you go to jds.asia, you can see a link to the coffee, and it'll take you right to the P-Rex website where you can order. Now, here's my issue. They can ship it anywhere in the US. However, shipping to Canada is not so easy. And so what I'm looking for is somebody who lives close to the border, and has a border boxes, a US mailbox type thing. I'm looking at you guys in the Rainy River District, but who could potentially order some of the JDS coffee and then act as a drop shipper for Canadian orders, people in Canada who want to order JDS coffee. So then I can put that back on our website, and you would have to keep a box of JDS coffee in your basement and then ship it out as it's ordered. But so if you're interested in that little deal, Leo, then helping me out with that, that'd be great. Or if you want to order a larger quantity, for your church, that's also a possibility. And P-Rex Coffee can make some special arrangements for that, or they can do a one-off shipment to Canada, but it is pretty pricey these days. So if you want to be my coffee drop shipper in Canada and you have a mailbox on the US side of the border, let's start a little coffee smuggling business here. But super excited. Don and Susan at P-Rex Coffee, they do such an awesome job, and their slogan is coffee with purpose. And so, it's just a great partnership. And so I'm super excited for that. And if you're in the States, please order some JDS coffee for Christmas presents or whatever. Thanksgiving's coming up. You could probably get it. But anyways, speaking of American Thanksgiving, it wouldn't be a true holiday if it wasn't surrounded with commercialism and just obnoxious advertisements and trying to shift your focus away from really giving thanks for all that you have. My Canadian listeners or other countries that listen, okay, maybe Thanksgiving is not a thing like it is in the States, but to all our American friends, we love you. I love you. I'm thankful that you're with me and joining me on this journey. And happy Thanksgiving coming up this weekend. And along with it is the craziest of all holidays. No, not a holiday, but sales, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Oh my goodness. It's just obnoxious. But, in last year, I was getting angry and went on a big rant about Black Friday, and I decided to do a Black Friday reverse sale, where instead of lowering our prices, we raise all of our prices. So we have hats, and we have hoodies, and we have shirts, and we have all sorts of fun stuff, little merchandise, JDS, the Crosshairs logo and our Burma logo on our website. And we're having our second annual Black Friday reverse sale. So why save money when you can give more of your money away? What a wonderful thing. Yeah, and so I also have some special limited edition Black Friday collection items, hat, a sweater, available in a water container, like a water jug, that's on the website now. And so if you head over to junglediscipleshipschool.com and click on shop, or if you go to jds.asia, you'll see the Black Friday reverse sale. And yeah, why save money? Fight the power. Okay, what's next here? New JDS TV show. Yes. Okay, so I'm only about 6 months late on getting this episode out, but I wanted to finish season 2 of JDS TV. And so it is finally finished. It's a little bit shorter than the other episodes, but yeah, it was good to just get the project kind of finished. And so there's JDS TV on YouTube, which you just search Jungle Discipleship School. And season 1 is kind of like the formation of JDS. And season 2 is our very first class up until this new episode that just came out this week, which is our graduation of our very first class. And I'm not going to continue making a season 3 of JDS TV. If you're a film person out there and you want to do it for me, then okay, I can send it to you. I can send you footage, but I just don't have the margins to keep up with that project, clearly, as I'm 6 months behind schedule. So anyways, yeah, check out that latest episode. It's on the YouTube. It's on the YouTube, and you can see our graduation ceremony. You can see some of the stuff leading up to graduation and a little kind of flashback of where we've come from. But yeah, I thought the series ended the episode well. And so, yeah, check that out on YouTube. Okay, what's next? So we're starting a new fundraiser. I'm starting a new fundraising campaign. And yeah, it's probably one of the bigger, more consistent stresses in my life, probably in your life too, but just finances in general. And every week we're spending a lot of money. We have 50 some people here, and food is not cheap, as you know. Like, I'm sure prices are rising in Canada and America, and it is here as well. And so it's just expensive to feed everybody, and to go on a mission like we want to do, and to do all the things we want to do. And so fundraising is just a part of it. And I hate fundraising, but a friend of mine, a mentor of mine, he basically said, like, hey, there's times we want to give and we don't know what the need is, or we don't know how to give, or that you're actually needing money. So you have to tell us when you need money. And anyways, so I am so humbled and moved by people who donate to JDS, and we pray for our donors regularly. I pray for you guys who give regularly, and our students do as well. We do as a school, like corporately. And I would like to, so Operation 500 is our new fundraiser. And if you go to jds.asia, you can click on Operation 500 and see more about it. But for $1 a day, $30 a month, you can make a huge difference here, a huge impact. And so what I'm trying to do is just to get people to say, okay, you know what, I can support $1 a day for JDS. And most people spend, I looked this up actually, $47 a month on coffee, although it'll be more probably if you buy JDS coffee. But if you're swinging into the good old Tim Hortons or McDonald's to get your dark roast, or Dunkin's or Starbucks, you're probably up in the high range. But if you get a Starbucks 3 or 4 or 5 times a month, you're easily dropping $30. And if you're willing to part with $30 a month and take a couple minutes just to fill out the form to sign up, it will go a long way and make a huge difference. And if you're in the UK or Australia, you can sign up and give directly. We can't get you a tax receipt for that, but it would still make a huge difference. Just $1 a day, a British pound a day. And so I've committed. My idea is I'm going to take 500 days to try to get 500 people to sign up to give $1 a day. That would allow us to reach all of our funding goals. And it would also allow us to do some extra things that we've been wanting to do, but just haven't had the funds to do. For example, like our junior staff and the guys that want to build a ministry or go out as missionaries, it would allow us to support them and support the ministries and the things that they want to do starting next year. And so Giving Tuesday comes after Black Friday, so you could share that link with some friends. If you're already a donor to JDS, then this is my ask. Can you send 2 or 3 friends a text message and say, hey, a friend of mine is running the school in Burma. Can you afford $1 a day to support them? Something like that. And then send them the link to the website. And if everybody who's already a donor got 2 or 3 more of their people to say, okay, I can commit $1 a day for this cause, that would be a huge thing. And if everybody who read my newsletter, 5-bullet newsletter, signed up to give $1 a day, we'd be over halfway to the target. And so, those of you who already give, as long as you are giving more than $1 a day, which I think almost everybody is, I've counted you in the target. And so we're around 48 or 50 people right now, on the way to 500. So you're the original, you're the founding members of Operation 500. And if you can share it with a friend or 3, if you can kind of reach out to your community and say, hey, my friend needs help. This is what he's doing. Would you consider signing up for $1 a day? And you have cousins and aunts and uncles who I'm sure can afford $1 a day. I also researched that the average person in North America would not notice a payment or a withdrawal of less than $40 from their bank account, just because it's like kind of insignificant in most people's average expenses. And so anyways, you can head to junglediscipleshipschool.com/$1, or you can head to jds.asia and you'll see the Operation 500 link. I would love it if you signed up as a member of Operation 500 and committed $1 a day. You're welcome to give more than that if it's what God has put on your heart. And if you're already somebody who's giving, thank you so much for giving to JDS. And please share it with 2 or 3 friends. That's a huge help, a big ask. So I would love for you to be able to do that. Okay, I'm asking a lot on this. You're going to have a to-do list by the end of this podcast episode. So you can roll your eyes now, or you can get all fired up. But I'm thankful that you're with us. I'm thankful that you guys who listen to the podcast are such huge supporters and prayers and encouragers. I honestly couldn't do it without you. And that's why you guys get the special presence of hearing songs before anybody else hears songs. So speaking of songs, the song that I put out a few weeks ago, Healed by Beauty, and you guys heard it first on the podcast, is somewhere around 4,000 streams on Spotify. And if my goal for that song is to have 10,000 streams by the end of December, by January 1st, I want to have 10,000 streams. And why 10,000, you may ask? Because when you reach that threshold of streams on Spotify, then Spotify starts paying attention and they start putting your songs into their curated playlists. So like when you get your Discover Weekly on Spotify or your Release Radar or those, when you type in like, I want to listen to Christian music on Spotify and the custom playlists come up, Spotify, when you reach around 10,000 streams, Spotify will start putting your music in there and sharing your music around. And so it would be really a big honor for me to reach 10,000. So that's just another thing to add onto your to-do list, is to put Healed by Beauty on repeat. And when the next song comes out as well, you can add that to the playlist and collection. But thank you for those that have listened to it and given feedback. And yeah, it's been fun to make this project, and I can't wait to share the next song with you. I'm not sure if you can hear, but our students are practicing for the mission in the background and singing some songs. But I want to just take a minute. Actually, we're heading out on mission on Monday. So here in Burma, a lot of the ethnic groups, they celebrate Christmas a little bit differently. They do what they call Sweet December, which is when November turns into almost like New Year's, when November turns into December, and December 1st would be Sweet December, and often has bonfires and singing and Christmas carols and some sort of big meal. So this weekend, we're having our Sweet December party here, and we're going to have, we've got a pig that we're going to kill, and do some sticky rice and bamboo, which is going to be really delicious. And then the first will be some sports up with the IDPs in the IDP camp. And then on the second, we're going to take off on our mission, and everyone's going to leave. We're going to head out. It's going to be a 3-day hike to get to the mission area. It's a grueling, long hike, but we've had beautiful weather lately, and so hopefully we get beautiful weather for that. And mission is a little bit more expensive than just a regular week at JDS, because there's things like, boats and transportation and buying a bunch of medicine. That was pretty expensive. And I do try to budget all this into the budget, but it is a big chunk of money. And I start to ask the question, okay, why are we doing the mission? And is it an important or vital part of our programming? And I believe it is, for multiple reasons. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't do it. But it's good for our students to, it breaks up our semesters. So we do have a fall semester and then winter and spring semester. And so it breaks up the semester, gets us out of the classroom. We continue on with our Bible reading plans and some of our learning that we do in the mornings. And then it allows us to take some of these ideas, some of the lessons, some of the challenges that we've had over the semester, and apply them into the field, into real life. And then to reflect on it. How did I feel? Was I shy to pray? Was I shy to share my testimony? Was I shy to share the gospel with somebody? Why? Or was I afraid at this time? And I asked Jesus to give me courage, and he didn't. And so what happened and why? How do I deal with that? What is the result of that? And so it gives us that opportunity to keep learning, but in a different environment, while we can be a blessing to others. And I really believe that our faith is meant to be put into action, that we're really meant to go and love the people and not just live in a little bubble. And so going out on the mission is a great way to do that. I also believe it binds us together when we go on mission, and our relationships amongst the students, my relationship with the students, really deepens. And it just is a time of really getting to know each other in a new way, and a different environment, different setting. And it's super fun to just be walking. You walk all day for 3 days straight. And so you'll talk to different people, and you experience each other in different ways. And it's really a beautiful thing. And also, I just believe that, especially for guys, that adventure is a part of our story, as a part of the masculine initiation and the masculine soul is to have adventure in our lives. And John 10:10, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And so The thief literally will try to steal adventure from our lives by saying, oh, it's not worth it. It's not worth the energy. This is way too much work to put in. Um, and it's there's warfare there, because when you enter into adventure, not only does it expand and deepen your faith, but it makes your heart come alive. And the enemy does not want your heart to come alive. The enemy does not want your faith to be expanded and deepened. And so, of course, the enemy will attack adventure. Of course, the enemy will say, no, 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 no. That's for, that's a extra thing that if you have extra time and extra money, you can do an adventure. But I think it's really important that we fight for joy, that we fight for adventure. We fight to go out and see the beauty. And there's times where even I feel it, where I feel like, I just love my little cabin here in the woods, in the jungle. Our campus is so peaceful. It's so relaxing. I mean, there's a lot going on, but the overall feeling in our valley is that of peace. And I'm so thankful for that. And I don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave the peacefulness of it here. A few weeks ago when I was in Chiang Mai, it was chaos just all the time. And I couldn't wait to get back here and just take a deep breath and be like, okay, I'm back. And so to think about, okay, I got to trudge for 3 days carrying everything on my back and then sleep in a hammock for a month and be dirty and poop in the bush is like, I don't really want to do it. But I know that's the thief trying to steal it from me. And so I have to fight back against that. And we all do. And, there's a missions group coming from Canada in the first 2 weeks of February to visit JDS. And it's not too late to join. If you're listening to this and you're in Kenora or the Rainy River District, or you just want to join up with this missions team that's coming from Canada, it's not too late to join them. And you can come and get to JDS and spend 2 weeks with our students here, because maybe God is calling you to take an adventure, to come on mission. And your mission is here to bless us and visit us and see the campus. And so if you're interested in that, you can either talk to the missions committee and at Lakeside or off lake, or you can email me and I can give you more information about that. But anyways, mission. Yeah, we're going on mission. We're going to try to spend about 4 or 5 days in each village that we go to. We just got news 2 days ago that 3 of the places that the leaders want us to go to has 1,000 children that want us to come and visit them. So it'll be like 3,000 children by the end of the mission, which is huge. Those are big. Those are big programs. And a lot of, it takes a lot to run a program like that for 1,000 kids. But anyways, we want to go and be a blessing. We want to bring share the gospel with all those kids, make them laugh, make them smile. We've bought a bunch of medicine that was expensive, but I'll remind you guys again, if anyone out there knows of groups like, the Rotary Club or the Lions Club or some sort of humanitarian group that donates medicine or will be willing to donate money so that we can buy medicine regularly, please research that for us and let me know. But we got medicine for people on the mission. We're going to do some seeds, and we'll give away some seeds and teach people about farming. And we just spend some time. We're going to do a sports program with the men from the villages or the IDP camps and play sports with them, have some competitions, and just spend 3 or 4 days in each place getting to know the people and just trying to be a blessing there. And so that's our mission plan. Okay. Now for your reward, for your to-do list and tuning in and just for being awesome. My next song. And so let me refresh your memory here, or if you're just tuning in for the first time, thanks for being with us. I've got a new book that I've been writing. It's called Nameless, Faceless People, and it's going to be published in February. So stay tuned for that. But one of the things I when I grew up, I used to love watching movies, and I don't know if you remember or maybe I'm too old, but there used to be these like VHS movie clubs where you select, like, you get 9 VHS movies for 1 penny each, and then you have to buy 10 more movies for regular price over the next year or something like that. And when I was a kid, I used to sign up for these, and I would get movies like Apollo 13 or The Cure. That was a great one. Stand By Me, another good one. But anyways, I always used to just think about movies always have these great soundtracks, and I thought books need to have a great soundtrack as well. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to take the chapters from my book, my upcoming book, and extract kind of the main themes or the main lessons or some key lines or something like that. And then I'm going to try to write some songs about, based on the chapters of the book. And so I'm going to build a book soundtrack. And I've just been so lucky. Chris Owens is the singer on the track. I can't sing. I sound like a rooster. But Chris Owens has an amazing voice, and he did an awesome job with Healed by Beauty. And then on this new track that you guys are going to hear today, I think he just did a great job. He nailed it with the music and the singing. And I've got some other people recording songs as well. If you're a musician and you want to do one of the songs, get in touch with me. But anyways, so the song I'm going to share with you guys today is called My New Name. And it comes from a chapter of the book where I was talking about the different names that I've been given over the last decade working in Burma. Here on campus at JDS, a lot of the students will call me Rure, which is my Karenni name. They'll say Ru, like R-U-E. And this is a name that was given to me by the Karenni general of their army. And maybe 8 or 9 years ago when I did my first Karenni mission, actually to the same spots. We're going to go to one of the same villages we're going to go to next week. But when I got back from that mission, the general gave me a Karenni name, and it kind of stuck. And most of the people refer to me by my Karenni name here. But each tribe or ethnic group has their own naming system and their own naming structure. And as you are adopted or welcomed into the tribe, you are given or bestowed a name. And so I have a bunch of names in Karen State. At FBR, we used to get animal names. And so I was the polar bear, or Tathua, the white bear, because polar bear doesn't quite translate, but the white bear. And I had other names as well. In Kachin, they have different clan names. And so I was adopted into one of the clans in Kachin State. And so I have a Kachin name. And so the chapter of the book is kind of talking about the names that we get, or the names that we call ourselves, or that are bestowed upon us. And it's often for the good, but it can also be for the bad. You know, sometimes these insults or these names or these jokes that people make when we're young can end up being big wounds in our lives and in our hearts. And so the Bible tells us that God will give us, Jesus is going to give us a new name written on a white stone. And that we are adopted into his tribe and to his ethnic group, into his family. And so this name that Jesus calls us is the most beautiful, precious name that we're going to get. And so the concept of this idea of a new name is what the chapter of the book is about. And then I kind of came up with the lyrics for this song, and Chris sings it, and Chris did a great job. He edited the lyrics just a little bit, and then he produced and sang it. And so, you guys are the first to hear this new song. It'll be out on Spotify and Apple and a bunch of different places on the first Friday in December, but you guys get the first taste right now. So here is My New Name.
was walking through the darkness, the night was closing in. Mud upon my feet again, weary from my sin. The road was full of questions, my courage wearing thin. Then I heard you whisper softly, child, you're mine again. And the night tried to call me by the name I used to wear, but you wrote a new one for me. Mercy filled the air. You call me chosen, you call me known, beloved child, finally home. No longer hiding in the shadow or the shame. I walk in the truth of my new name. You taught me how to stand again, to lift my head and see. The chains that used to bind my heart have lost their hold on me. Now I walk among my brothers in the tribe you call your own. Every step reminds my heart I'll never walk alone. And the night tried to call me by the name I used to wear, but you wrote a new one for me. Mercy fill the air. You call me chosen, you call me known, beloved child, finally home. No longer hiding in the shadow or the shame. I walk in the truth of my new name. From the fire to the freedom, from the battle to the song, you were calling me to courage when my strength was gone. Every scar and every story now testifies of grace. The shame that used to own me bows before your face. You placed a white stone in my hand with a name that only you understand. It speaks of love, it speaks of grace, my new name, from your smiling face. You call me chosen, you call me known, beloved child, finally home. No longer hiding in the shadow or the shame. I walk in the light of my new name. Yes, I walk in the light of my new name. Now I know who I am, forever changed. What a beautiful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus.